What's going on, everybody? This is Intellect, and welcome back to the channel. Now in today's first look, we have one of the most popular and electric prospects in Jalen Green out of California in the G League Ignite program. The format of this video will be a bit different as most of the footage will be in a non-professional setting, and I'm positive he's developed in many ways since. I'll talk about what I like about him as a prospect and some questions I have about his game as the G League bubble starts up in the next couple weeks. Let's go ahead and get into it. You can't start a conversation about Jalen Green without mentioning his athleticism. He's one of the most ridiculous leapers I've ever seen. He's been doing wild things since he was like 16, and it's only going to get crazier. His athletic ability is the foundation for his game on both ends of the floor. Defenses are conscious of what he can do with the basket, and business decisions are often made ahead of time in order to avoid being on the wrong end of a viral clip. He's a bit more powerful off 2 feet, but that left leg works just fine too.
Up to Jalen, and they start with an out.
Green is a natural scorer. He has a quick first step and uses his explosiveness well around the basket to hang in the air, take contact and finish, or just plain abuse the rim. He's got a solid handle, he relies on his quickness, and uses a lot of push crosses and uses his off arm to fend off defenders and create an advantage.
Green to the baskets.
Bring it up. She drives to the lane for an ad.
I think he has great balance, footwork, and form as a shooter. He has been inconsistent in the past, but projects as someone who can be great in this area. Whether it's off the dribble, on spot ups, or off screens, Green is someone who has the proper tools and is a guy you absolutely bet on rather than against in this area.
Green, after that La Lumiere game, said big stage, love, and here on the ESPN app.
You got a great finish before that one, though. Jalen Green sizing his man up.
Green, two.
Out of the youngster. I love the way he just took it to the basket strong.
Jalen Green for three in the tie.
I asked who's a better fisherman. It's not close. It's Thompson.
For Cottrell. See, quick handoff for Jalen Green, the Fresno, and a Pope on the right side trying to create something with Jalen Green from way outside.
Or a foul on the block down there. I'm not gonna argue with him. There's a lot of contact. Jalen knocks down.
Jalen Green knocks down.
Defensively, the tools are there, and he's had some great moments up to this point, but he's got to be more consistent both on and off the ball. He moves well laterally, does a solid job of turning his hips and recovering on plays, and he's always a threat to send shots into the 10th row as a help side defender or on chase down. He can be active in the passing lanes as well. There are several things he needs to work on in this area, but we'll get into that a bit later.
Come into your picture and watch the ball leave. And Green's not even in your picture right now. Here it comes. There it goes.
Got a little conversation down there on the baseline.
Blocked. Out ahead come the bright yellow. Goodbye.
While this area isn't necessarily a huge strength of his, or an area that really stands out among some of the other guards in this class, he deserves more credit than he's received as a playmaker in the past. He can make the basic reads out of the pick and roll and initiate offense. And over his last 2 years in high school, he got a lot more comfortable with the ball in his hands. It remains to be seen how he'll look in the G League, but he's got a good skill set to build upon, and he's a mostly willing passer.
Get yourself to the free throw line if you're a shooter in a bit of a slump.
And if you're a guy headed to the Big Ten, you better be able to finish plays like that. They have been fishing for a foul as well.
Look out.
Green, Hawkins gets the...
He's got the last 2 buckets for his team to make it a 3-point game.
Good, and it's Jalen Green to come away with the ball. Pope, the quick 3 in transition, and it goes. Jalen gets around the pressure. Coleman Hawkins wide open from deep.
37, prolific. Leading comfortably on this one as we get in the play there. Jalen looks to push it up. Hawkins on the receiving end.
Under a minute. Wetzel wide open.
Now that we're done talking about some of the main things I like about Jalen Green's game, we'll get into some questions I have going forward, starting with his shooting consistency and shot selection. I personally would buy a lot of stock in Jalen Green's outside shot, but he's got to become more consistent heading into his first real stretch of professional basketball. I want to see how he responds to slumps both in and out of game. Obviously, work ethic and routine isn't something we'll get to know about, but that'll be huge for him as well. Also in this section is his shot selection. Some of this was a natural product of him playing high school basketball with teammates that were nowhere near expected to be lottery picks, let alone spend any time in the NBA, but it's shown up in all the levels he's played at. He's a tough shot maker and scorer, so some of that is naturally going to be there, but we'll see the progress that he's made. Green is rumored to weigh somewhere between 175 and 185 pounds. At 6'5", 6'6", that's definitely on the lighter side, and you can see it. Handling the physicality of professional basketball could be somewhat of an adjustment for him, especially defensively. There have been times where he's been bullied by bigger guys at a few different levels. How he fares on switches, against bigger guards, and most importantly how he navigates screens is going to say a lot about him in this area, because that's been a glaring issue for him in the past defensively. He's got to make a concerted effort to close space, get skinny, and not die on the screen. Outside of turnovers, I'm not too concerned with him dealing with physicality offensively. The overarching question for Green as a prospect is his ability to affect the game without scoring. In the past, he's done a passable job of that, which is why he's here, but when the shot isn't falling, he's had a tendency to be lackadaisical, give minimal effort, or even try to force shots and gamble for steals in an attempt to get the ball back. Being able to affect the game in at least one other area outside of hitting shots, and more importantly exert consistent effort, is going to be the key for his stock, though if he's putting the ball in at a high enough rate, it might not matter too much.
Green showing off his handles. Drew the double team, but he threw it away, trying to run it
The other way, Jalen looking to kick it off, and that's going to be Jalen catches it at the high post, dumps down to the big guy.
Jalen Green has the tools to become a really good scoring guard in the NBA. There just aren't many players who have his combination of athleticism and raw scoring ability every year in the draft. You look at what guys like Bradley Beal and Zach LaVine are doing, or even a Victor Oladipo or Karis LeVert, and think Green has the potential to have a similar NBA role. Obviously, he's still got a lot to prove before the draft, and this evaluation is subject to change, but from what we've seen, Green is worthy of being in that top 5 conversation, and if he shows that he's making improvements in the other areas of his game, he should be among that top group of players. Appreciate y'all for watching the video. I know I said I was going to wait until 2 G League bubble games before I did this, but the time felt right to make this one. If you enjoyed, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new around here, and comment your thoughts down below. I'm Keandre, this is Hoop Intellect, and I'm out.
TFM, I put in that work, man, yeah, I put in that work, good job.